Hi friends, welcome to Yuvaguru Maths Theory Lectures. We have theory and practical, two separate types of video lectures. In theory we cover the concepts and in practical we cover the examples. So both the theory and practical together are useful for CBSE, ICSE, various state boards across India and outside India as well. Anyone who wants to understand English better needs to download this Yuvaguru English app. Let's focus on today's topic now. See here, our today's topic is video number 4 under the topic auxiliaries and models. We have covered almost all the details of auxiliaries and models in first 3 videos. Now only remaining 2 to 3 types of words would be covered over here. Firstly, what are models? See here, the verbs can, could, might, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must and ought are called modal verbs or modals. They are used before the ordinary verbs and express meanings such as permission, possibility, certainty and necessity. See here, we have covered almost all these words. Must and ought would be covered in this video. So you can watch the earlier videos to check the other words as well. Must and ought to. Must is used to express the necessity or obligation. Means what? You must improve your spelling. We must get up early means necessity, compulsion, right? Or obligation. Must refers to present or near future. To talk about the past, we use had to. Must has no past form. Yesterday we had to get up early. So must is used for present or near future. Near future means, see this, we must get up early means what? Near future, right? So you must improve your spelling means near future, immediately you must improve. It does not have a past form like as we have it for the shall, should, right? Have, had. Similarly we don't have it for must. Okay. Must is often used when the obligation comes from the speaker, right? Means if I am telling you, you must get up early, means obligation is coming from my side. When the obligation comes from somewhere else, have to is often used. Now let's see few examples. I must be on a diet. Okay, means I am telling that I must be. I am telling you that you must get up early tomorrow. Means it's from my side, right? Now let's see for the third person example. I have to be on a diet means what? See, what is the difference between these two? I must be means I am telling it from my side. I have to be means what? Someone else has told me, the doctor has told me, right? So when the obligation comes from somewhere else, have to is often used. Must can also express logical certainty, means almost surety, you can call it, something which is sure to happen. Let's see which examples. Living in such a crowded conditions must be difficult, right? It means you are living in some crowded condition and it is very difficult. That's what I know, right? That's why I say must be. She must have already left or left already. Means what? I am assuming that I am sure that she has already left. Means we are sure in these two conditions and only then must is used. Now ought to. Ought to, see here, to is in bracket. Ought is a main word of means it's a modal word. To is attached. Ought to expresses moral obligation or desirability. Means see here, moral obligation means what? It comes from within. No one else tells you, right? Means you must study, so that's a moral obligation. So let's see a few examples. We ought to love our neighbors means what? It's a moral obligation, right? We ought to help him. You ought to know better means desirability, means you must desire to know better, right? Ought to can also be used to express probability, like prices ought to come down soon means prices have to come down soon. Means have to means they can't be, I am not sure whether they will come down or no, but I am assuming that they can come down. Means again the basic logic is they can or no, they can't, they won't, but the point is I wish that they need to come down. The book ought to be very useful means the verb needs to be very useful. We are assuming the probability. It may not be useful at all, right? But we are assuming, or we are thinking of a probability that it can be useful. Okay, now we will focus on the auxiliaries used to, need and dare. Okay, so the auxiliary, let's start with used to. The auxiliary used to expresses a discontinued habit, means some habit was there but now it's not continued. There used to be a house there, means there was a house earlier but it's not there now. I used to live there when I was a boy, means used to, now I am not living there. He used to smoke, so that is also a discontinued habit. Now he is not smoking. Strictly speaking, used to is an auxiliary verb. In colloquial English, however, did you, used to or did not used to usually replace used to and used not to. Firstly, what are auxiliaries? Here, the verbs be, have and do, when used in the ordinary verbs to make tenses, passive forms, questions and negatives, are called auxiliary verbs or auxiliaries. Means see these three verbs, be, have and do. They are used with ordinary verbs to make tenses and passive questions and negatives. Remember these four things: tenses, passive forms, questions and negatives are called auxiliary. That's okay. Okay. Although these used to, need and dare are not there in the definition, but they are also used as auxiliaries. So, what is colloquial English? Colloquial means daily speaking. You can call it a slang, but it's not a formal language. You can't use this colloquial English in the offices, okay, in your communications. It's generally speaking, okay. So, in colloquial English, however, did you used to and did not used to usually replace used to and used not to. Means what? Instead of used to, we use did you used to, and used not to, instead of this we use did not used to. Okay. Now the auxiliary need. The auxiliary need denoting necessity or obligation can be conjugated with or without do. Means either it can be used with or without do. This is important. Okay. When conjugated without do, it has no s or ed forms. Right. Need means needs or needed. So when conjugated without do, when there is no do, then it doesn't have needs or needed, and is used with an infinitive without to only in the negative. So what is an infinitive? To walk, to run. So infinitive is a group of words, means to and a verb, to form from a verb, but it doesn't act as a verb. It acts as an adjective generally. So with an infinitive, you can watch the separate video on infinitive. It's very interesting. With an infinitive without to only in the negative and interrogative sentences. So without to only in negative and interrogative, and in sentences that contain semi-negative words like scarcely and hardly. Means all this is for without to, right? This full thing, interrogative, semi-negative, all these are without to. Okay. So here this para is quite big, so we need to break this with examples. Okay. Need denoting necessity or obligation can be conjugated with or without do. Okay, means it can be conjugated with or without do. He need not go. Okay, it is not necessary for him to go. When conjugated without do, it has no s or ed. See here, is it with do? Is there something related to do? No, he need not go. So it doesn't have s or ed, means needs or needed. Okay, it's not necessary. Okay. Need I write to him? So again the same. Need I write to him, not conjugated with do. I need hardly take his help. Means again the same logic. Now this was without do. Now what is with do? Let's see. When conjugated with do, need has the usual form needs, needed, and is used with a to infinitive. Means to walk, to run. So that way it is used. So basically understand one thing. With do has usual form needs and ed. S and ed is used when it is used with do, and without do S and ed is not used, and is used with a to infinitive, to run, to whatever what it will be. It is commonly used in negatives and questions. Okay, so with do is used in negatives and questions generally. It sometimes occurs in the affirmative also. Sometimes means few examples. Okay, do you need to go now means what? It's a negative. Do you need to go now means I am actually telling you you need not go now. Go now. Second, I don't need to meet him means negative. Right? So negatives and questions. And third one is one needs to be careful. Sometimes occurs in affirmative also. So one needs to be careful. Now let's see the comparison between the two sentences. I didn't need to buy it. What does it mean? I didn't need to buy it. It means what? It was not necessary for me to buy it, and hence I did not buy it. That's what it means, right? But I needn't have bought it. Means what? It was not necessary for me to buy it, but I bought it, right? That is the difference between the two. So understand do. See this. Didn't means what? Is a past form of do. So that's why when it's used over here, it's used in negatives. I didn't buy it, and here it's affirmatives, means positives, but I bought it. Now the last word dare. The auxiliary dare means be brave enough. Dare means I dare you. Means what? I am you brave. You be brave enough to do whatever I say. Right? That's the meaning of dare. The auxiliary dare as distinct from the ordinary verb dare. Now see here. There's a difference between auxiliary dare and normal word dare. Normal verb dare means challenging. When I say I dare you means what? I am challenging you. The example of dare which I gave was for the verb, and auxiliary dare is different. Does not take s in the third person singular present tense. Means what? Does not take s in the third person means in the verb what happens? He dares me. So s is there because he means third person. But auxiliary dare doesn't take s. We'll see this in examples. It is generally used in negative and interrogative sentences. So negative and interrogative. Okay. When conjugated without do, it is followed by an infinitive without to. Now this is somewhat confusing. When it is used with do, let's speak in the simple language. When it is used with do, then it is followed by an infinitive without to. Means to walk, to run. So that to is not there. Only it's an infinitive, run. Okay. So infinitive is always to with some infinitive, some verb, right? So to is not there in that infinitive. Okay. So when it is used without do, it is followed by an infinitive without to, right? When conjugated with do, it takes an infinitive with or without to after it. Means it can have with or without. But when it is not there without do, means it's without do, it's definitely without to. Okay. Let's see few examples. He dare not take such a step. Now this dare not is not a verb. This is auxiliary. Be brave enough. He should not be brave enough to take such a step. How dare you contradict me? So again this is a auxiliary. He dare not do it. He dare not do it. So again the same thing. It should be dare. He dare not do it. Okay. He doesn't dare to speak to me. He doesn't dare speak to me. Not to. Okay. Let's analyze these examples. He dare not means what? It is without do. So it is followed by an infinitive without to. See this. Take is an infinitive. To take is an infinitive actually. So it's followed without to. Right? How dare you contradict me? So how dare? Is it with or without do? It's without do. So you contradict me means again to contradict. Okay. So without to. He dare not do it. So when it is conjugated without do, it is followed by an infinitive. When it is conjugated with do, it takes an infinitive with or without to after it. So he dare not do it. He dare not. Is it with or without do? Without. Okay. So that's why it's not when conjugated without do. It's without to. Right. So to do. See this. To do over here. Do is a verb. Right. And to do is a auxiliary. This infinitive. Right. So without to, this do is used. He doesn't dare speak to me. Means now what is this example? When conjugated with do, doesn't means what? Does he do? Does is a form of do. So does, doesn't dare, it means it's with do. So it takes an infinitive with or without to after it. So to speak, so it's without over here. Even though it's attached with do, some form of do, then also it's to speak. To is not there. So with or without. Okay. It can be he didn't dare to go there. So he didn't dare. Didn't is a form of do. So didn't dare to go. To go is with to after it. Okay. This example can also be used. So that was a theory on auxiliaries and modals. You can download YuvaGuru English app from Play Store to get these videos, tests, question banks with explanations directly on your mobile. These video lectures contain theory and practical. Two types of video lectures. In theory we cover the theory concepts, and in practical we cover the examples. Both this theory and practical together are useful for CBSE, ICSE, various state boards across India and outside India as well. Anyone who wants to understand English better needs to download this YuvaGuru English app. Follow us on Facebook on this link. WhatsApp us on this number for any query related to purchases. Keep studying, keep watching. Thanks.